Some soldiers on Friday invaded some communities in the Yewa North local government area of Ogun State and forced the victims to recant torture allegations against them. The soldiers, whose identities could not be ascertained as of the time of filing this report, stormed the villages and assembled the residents on Friday evening, the Punch reports. The soldiers, numbering about 10, had reportedly escorted some herdsmen to some villages in Ketu land a few weeks ago and flogged them for refusing to allow the herdsmen to graze their cattle on their farmlands. 3 traditional rulers in the area wrote a petition against the soldiers and addressed it to the army, the government, and the police in the state. The army kept mum while the government and the police confirmed they were aware of the incident. On Friday, some soldiers were reported to have returned to one of the villages, Ubeku, in Eselu land, and asked one of the victims to retract the allegation. The activities of the soldiers were secretly recorded by one of the villagers who gave the audio clip to our correspondent. The 3:59 minutes audio revealed that the army had received the petition over the allegation that its officers from 35 Artillery Brigade, Alamala, Abeokuta, allegedly connived with herdsmen to flog some members of the community for refusing the herdsmen to graze their cattle on their farmlands. One of the soldiers, who appeared to have been commissioned to investigate the allegation, was heard asking the victim to make a video recording of the retraction. The soldier was heard making frantic efforts to force the victim, simply identified as Š⁰ to retract his statement, but he insisted that he was flogged. The soldier was heard saying, "I want you to video him because your name is what we have in the petition. Your name is what we have, so you will record him now. He will call his name and say that nobody touched you. I have to write a report on the allegation. I want to speak with him. Then you being the Bale and the youth leader, if that is done, I think I am okay with you. You will say from you who claim that you were beaten mercilessly because you asked a question. Soldier spits on you. He will call his name as you are recording him and say all these are false. Nobody touched him, and whatever he said, nobody forced him to say. He said it out of his free will in the presence of the Bale and the youth leader, and of course members of the community. Are you getting me? Go ahead." The soldiers, however, warned that failure of the victim to make the retraction might force the army to return to arrest him and refuse an emergency call from the community. He said, "Let me tell you what this thing means. The need to clear this air. If you don't clear it, next time when they call, the army will not respond because you people have alleged and painted the name of the army in a bad light. And the army will not respond when there is any emergency in this place. If they don't respond, you can't blame them. So the need to clear this is very important. If I were you, I would have come out clear because your name is everywhere in the petition." They wrote that you were beaten mercilessly, and look at you here. So the earlier you clear the air, the better for you. You see the kind of country we are? You see the kind of country we are. Can you all see? That is why the governor of Ogun State denied that he never invited Sunday Igboho, claiming that he never did that. That is why all of them cannot even talk about the atrocities being committed by these herdsmen. That is why the presidency is looking the other way. And I'm sure all of them are dancing to the tune of Buhari. Buhari never said anything concerning this whole thing. He was just gyrating, going for parties registration or whatever. That is what they are concerned about. Now they are blaming Nigerians because of the corruption of this in this country. Now they are blaming Nigerians, that it is the corruption of Nigerians that the Transparency International is talking about, not the corruption that they themselves are fighting. You see that every one of them is quiet now. There's nothing like oh, well, who took this, who did not take this, and that's how you see that all of them too, they are with the deficiency that we are experiencing in this country, all of them just kept quiet. Both PDP governors and APC, all of them, they are doing a lot of this until after this government, before we now know what they have done. And at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself question. Even at the end of the day, if we get to know what will happen, they will still cover themselves up. They will definitely cover themselves up. That's why you see they are just dancing palongo every now and then. You see, intimidation, oppression. If truly soldiers of the Nigerian army return to communities in Yewa, not local governments, to force some people to recant torture allegations against them, then it means that we are in a real problem also in the south too. Which truth do you still want after this? Highest point of professional dishonesty. Okay, do we have a governor in Ogun State whose responsibility is to protect life of the citizens? All those responsibility or saddle with the responsibility of protecting lives and property. Oh, now watch, now just a rhetorics. It is rhetorics. They are there just collecting salaries. That is what they are there for, collecting big money. And after that, they will just shift it to another, pass the baton to another person, and the person will still continue from there. There is no government in Ogun State now. What is there is a stooge, an appendage of the apron of the federal government. The governor was not elected by the people, but appointed by Osinbajo, Oshiomhole, Tinubu, and Olusegun Obasanjo. Okay, Olusegun Oshoba. So he only has to do what the federal government and Tinubu permits him to do at the expense of the people. He is governing. Buhari is aware of all that is happening. He refused to call his people to order in self-imposed silent protest because Nigerians rejected Ruga. Bam! That is it. They rejected. I said it. I'm convinced because Nigerians or the Southerners rejected Ruga. That is why they don't even want to do anything. They don't want to say anything, and it's not going to happen. It is Nigerian people that we take their destinies into their hands. It is tiring. Oh my goodness. God will see us through. We have tried though, and we'll continue to try. You see what, the question is that with all these heavy allegations, Garba Shehu did not make any statement. But when it comes to Sunday Igboho, they will be shouting here and there, calling people thugs. They call people hoodlums. Who are the hoodlums? Who are the thugs in high places? Yeah, it is APC government, so everything is calm. Remember the chimp who says if you are in APC, all crimes are forgiven. We all can see the reason why some soldiers were forcefully resigned. This means the statement of peace and good reconciliation made by Emir of Sokoto is just a ruse and critical. Buhari should be investigated as to why criminality of killing innocent people and kidnapping have become pandemic during his time and with no effort by him to stop the dastardly acts. Could these terrorists have been imported to this country by him as alleged by Muhammad Junai, who said Buhari invited Fulani mercenaries to fight Jonathan out of power? Should he later refuse to hand over power? I now start believing in the necessity of having Oduduwa Republic and Biafra Republic. You see, when people will be talking, they say, they are hateful because maybe some people just, seeing is believing. Now they're beginning to see. Then let them continue with that. So guys, leave your comment below and let's have your take on this. Thank you.